Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Mike. Right, we are ready to go with our next semi-final. Let's meet our PlayStation competitors, MoAuba and Nicolas. Another big semi-final, Spence. How do you see this one going?
Well, the form book would suggest a Nicolas win. They've met many times over the years, and I think every single time but one, Nicolas has come out on top. But we've just seen what Rafsu almost caused an upset against Escenas. You can never count MoAuba out. He started off the tournament fantastically. Has he got a game plan? Has he found a way to defeat the Argentinian? Whoever gets through is going to have to face Escenas, of course, but right now, it's all about becoming the PlayStation champion.
We saw Nicolas yesterday, also known as the Iceman, for how cool and calm he is, but we saw him get quite animated, particularly in one of the goals in the knockout stages.
Yeah, he's starting to show that emotion now. It just shows you how much is on the line for these guys, how much it means to them. You know, both these guys played in multiple FIFAeWorldCup finals and never made it to the final, never gone that end result that they want. So I think Nicolas and MoAuba, they both really want this, and it's a question of who wants it the most.
Yeah, and MoAuba, I've got touching him quickly because he just said, quite rightly said, many people have Nicolas as the favourite. How will MoAuba be thinking right now going into it as the underdog?
The problem when you play Nicolas is he's very good at keeping the ball, starving your possession. MoAuba traditionally plays a little bit more on the counter, very quick attacks. So the kind of two styles are going to be quite contrasting here. But if he can keep the ball a little bit more against Nicolas and try and get some early goals, he's got a chance. If he lets Nicolas take the lead, it's going to be difficult.
Needs to get off to a good start.
Yeah.
It was interesting for the first game, wasn't it? The two legs. It was so different. Rafsu winning the first one 2-1, then Escenas very dominant in the second leg. It just goes to show how competitive these events are. It's what we saw yesterday. So many tight games, particularly in the group stages.
Yeah, and it happens a lot in FIFA because what you do is you use that first leg to feel your opponent out and learn about them and learn about where they've changed. Obviously, Rafsu changed something from that group stage game when it was a one-sided affair, 6-0 to Dasari. To Dasari. So what Dasari's done there is he's learned in the first leg and he's adapted. All good, successful FIFA players have to be able to do that. They have to be able to adapt in real time against their opponent, whether they're playing online or they're playing people they know really well, like this game here. So it's a question of whether the first leg, if MoAuba goes up in the first leg and gets a couple of goals, it doesn't mean anything, really. Nicolas has got the ability to come back, and vice versa. So it's all about having that performance over both games.
And Nicolas's tournament has been quite incredible. We were here on day one. He lost his first 3 group matches and then won the next 4 and scored an unbelievable amount of goals in the knockout stage. It's been a sort of tale of two halves, really, if you like, compared to the start to the second half of the tournament.
Yeah, he's been a different beast completely since he got out of the groups. He's actually got a little bit lucky to get out of the groups. He's relying on other people's results, a bit of goal difference to help him.
Well, these are the goals when they played in the group stage, MoAuba against Nicolas. This is how it finished. Spence?
This was a huge game for Nicolas. He had to win this.
Had to win this one, didn't he? Yeah.
They actually had like reverse group stages. MoAuba won all of his opening 4 games, then lost the next 3, including one to Nicolas, whereas Nicolas lost his first 3 and won his last 4. So they're coming out of the group stage in opposite form, but since then, obviously, they've won every single game. And yeah, you're seeing here some of the goals that went in. Nicolas had the 4-0 lead against MoAuba, and yeah, MoAuba was able to get back in it to an extent, but not enough to really hurt Nicolas. And this last goal here, in the last second of the game, Nicolas is very good at scoring those last-minute goals.
So here we are, there is confirmation. MoAuba against Nicolas. It is our semi-final. One of our competitors have actually gone to wash their hands because one of the controllers was sticky. So just goes to show so much preparation that goes into this, Spence, but we are almost ready to go for our second semi-final. So MoAuba just will be back in the building very shortly. And it's very similar in the sense that for our first semi-final, Rafsu and Escenas, that was a very one-sided group game as well, but we didn't see that in the knockout game. And what we just saw there as well, Nicolas coming out on top in the group game, but you're expecting a tighter match in the knockout stage for this one?
No, not necessarily. It depends, really. I mean, you can't read too much into the earlier games. It doesn't necessarily mean that's how this game's going to go. It's all about who's rising to the occasion the most. You know, this is the furthest that MoAuba's ever got, and he's played in the last 3 FIFAeWorldCups. So he's going to be feeling the pressure. You know, is he going to just go this far, or can he go even further? Germany never won an FIFAeWorldCup, a world title, which is crazy because Germany is probably one of the strongest regions in terms of the amount of players they produce. Always so many players qualifying, but never gone the distance. So he's not just doing it for himself, he's doing it for his country.
And just finally, it's great to see, we're looking at shots now of the O2 Arena and how the atmosphere has been building. It's brilliant, brilliant atmosphere down here. So we're very lucky to be down here and seeing all the atmosphere as it goes. I expect it to be a very, very loud and noisy second semi-final. And speaking of which, we are ready to go for it. So let's hand back to our casters. It's Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And yes, it is time for our second semi-final at the FIFAeWorldCup Grand Finals. What a first semi-final it was. MS Dasari back in another cross-console Grand Final. Can he go back-to-back?
That's the question on everyone's mind right now, but we're over on the PlayStation. Nicolas versus MoAuba. They've matched up 8 times this season. Nicolas 7-1 in games. That one game that MoAuba won, when was it? Back in November.
The first game of the year when they played against each other.
The first tournament of the year, the first major of the year. That's when he beat him, FUT Champions Cup 1 in Bucharest. Since then, he's not been able to beat him across a 2-legged game. Can he save his biggest performance of the season for when it matters most?
As we said, both of these two were involved in the last 3 Grand Finals in London. Unfortunately, though, they both didn't make it to day 3 of the competition last year. Nicolas fell in day 2, and you talk about Nicolas, what a story he's had at this tournament. Lost his first 3 opening matches in Group C. And MoAuba, he won his first 4 in Group C. Next thing you know, day 2, as Spencer was saying, roles reversed. They both made out the group, so that was the key thing. And as you said, Rich, you've been saying it time and time again, Nicolas just needs to get that blip out of his system. We know how good he is.
He did exactly that. A little bit like somebody struggling with hay fever at the beginning of the spring sort of calendar. That first couple of weeks, you can't breathe properly. You don't know where you are. You're disorientated. That was Nicolas in his first 3 games here in London. Since then, he's dealt with it. He's got better. Like me, I struggle with hay fever. I know I'm going to have a runny nose through the summer. I get on with it. Nicolas has got on with this tournament.
And here we go then. We have a cross-console final waiting in front of us. MS Dasari is in there from the Xbox side. He's the Xbox champion from this year. We need to find a PlayStation player to join him there. Nicolas with the first real chance of the game. Kicking from right to left in that Argentina strip. And what a tournament MoAuba's had. We know how good he was in an attacking sense. Defensively, though, he's been so good.
That's why he's at this stage right now.
Back-to-back Lacroquetas! And that's going to be the first goal in this game. Nicolas with it, just 8 minutes in. And it looks like he's carrying over this form into day 3.
He's not going to play as bad as he did in day 1. It's as simple as that. People were expecting him to get 21 points out of his group. Similar story to what Dasari did. Is it a level playing field, in my opinion? MoAuba has to have his best game of FIFA 19 right now to be able to beat Nicolas at his best.
When you saw the game against Rafsu not so long ago, what a game he had in that first leg.
The best I've seen Rafsu play all season long, that game right there, in that first leg. If he'd have scored a couple more goals in that first leg and just put a little bit of pressure on Dasari, then we could have been potentially looking at a different story. But top players, really upper echelon players, they will always turn it around that second leg. How many times have you seen Tex turn it around?
MoAuba!
Let's go!
Responds just 4 minutes later. Slightly back in November again with that type of finish.
First time finesse shot from MoAuba, from kickoff. You love to see it.
I remember that, literally. Bucharest for Champions Cup #1 of the year. Timing things green outside the edge of the box, and they were just flying into the back of the net for him. And the one thing, when I was speaking to MoAuba before coming into this game, he said, if I've got any chance, I have to be leading in the match. He went 1-0 down early on. That could have really shooken him up. Seems like it hasn't, though. He's responded just 4 minutes later.
This game right now is going to be full of goals.
The biggest game of competitive FIFA these two have ever played before. Argentina and Germany without an E-World-Cup win ever since the competition formed in 2004.
And now you know who you're going to be facing in the final. So I think that it helps knowing what you can anticipate coming into the grand final. You know that Dasari's going to be waiting.
We'll have a look at some of the results that both of these two had via their grand final run. This is day 3 of the competition. At the end of play today, someone will be the FIFAeWorldCup world champion of FIFA 19. $250,000 in their back pocket as well. So much at stake. No one ever forgets a world champion.
And as soon as Nicolas got out of the groups, he turned it on. 7-2 win against Azini.
MoAuba!
Let's go!
Let's go all round in that booth. Stylo. And we're only getting started, and there's the trademark celebration for MoAuba.
I didn't know how we were going to start MoAuba when he went 1-0 down inside the first 6-7 minutes. But it seems as though Something's just clicked with MoAuba over this 3-day event.
Well, he's been one of the most consistent players in the Global Series this year. First event to the last event, we saw him in the Continental Cup semi-finals there. The biggest game that they played this year was back actually in FIFA Champions Cup. Number 2 in December, they met in the console final on PlayStation. It was Nicolas that won that 5-4. Other than that, they've only played in groups and Swiss. I'm sure in MoAuba's head, he knows the amount of times he's lost to Nicolas in groups and Swiss. But this is different, this isn't a group game, this is a huge matchup. $75,000 this game is worth to be the PlayStation 4 champion.
You asked the question, does Nicolas play better under pressure? You've got to think. In them group games, the first 3 group games, it looks very, very average for his own standard. Since then, he's not dropped any points. He's been perfect. He's won 4, the 4 that he needed to send him through the groups. Yes, he got through by the skin of his teeth, but he got through. That's all that matters. Since then, 7-2 against Zinio, 9-1 against Houston.
Straight into the box it goes. That was a routine save in the end for Edwin van der Sar, the icon. Goalkeeper in goal. The Dutchman's been one of the stars in the latter stage of the FIFA 19 Global Series. There's a threaded through ball down the left-hand side for MoAuba to chase. What a first 25 minutes it's been for him. Went 1-0 down just after 8 minutes. He's bounced back and now he's 2-1 up front.
You look on the other side of that, on the opposite side, MoAuba's bracket, 3-1 win against Pina and then 5-1 win against Maestro. The thing that's standing out for me right there, he's only conceded 2 goals in 4 legs of FIFA. On a typical MoAuba performance, that's a 7-4 and an 8-5.
You also mentioned as well, he's the master of groups, he's the master of Swiss, but when it gets to the knockouts, other than his success in the virtual Bundesliga, he's kind of yet to be a PlayStation champion. Semi-finals, a console final, as I mentioned, throughout the year for him. This will all help. Strings to his bow. And this is honestly the biggest game these two would have ever played, the furthest they've ever gone in the FIFAeWorldCup. Hullet's got room to drive forward now. It will be the Hullet of MoAuba to intercept, and he's been so good.
Here's that bullet.
Look at that run.
Out to strike for MoAuba. You talk about the arrow and the bowl that he's been building with the tournaments that he's been racking up, MoAuba. Got to think, pressure. This stage, he talked multiple times in interviews yesterday, he's never made it to day 3. It looks very, very comfortable for me right now. I think that's got to do with Stylo behind him as well.
Yeah, I don't know if you could notice as well, everybody that's here in the O2 Arena or watching home over the last 3 days, every single time that Mo will win the ball back, you just hear a little nice or a little cheer from Stylo. It's something that's really helped Mo's confidence defensively.
See Nicolas's group stage results there, 3 losses to start the day, then 4 back-to-back wins.
Possibly the worst start for him.
Beating MoAuba 5-2.
It's going to fall back. Here's a chance for MoAuba on the rebound, maybe on the volley. Oh, it's in! What a first 45 minutes from the German. As soon as that shot came in, the ball was just in the air, waiting for someone to connect with it.
And who else but Cristiano Ronaldo inside the box? Yes, very, very fortunate that the rebound did bounce to him off the goalkeeper. Right place, right time. You've got to have a slice of luck.
But what's the one thing I've been saying? He has to lead against Nicolas. He has to put Nicolas in a position where he's never been before, chasing games. You saw how he got in the groups and he was chasing games. He struggled. If you look back at key points in this tournament for Nicolas, that 93rd minute winner against Houston in game number 4. If you didn't get that win, you might not even be in the knockouts.
He'd have 10 points, and he'd be gone. Marco would have gone through.
Nice.
There you go, you can hear it. And you've got someone behind you like that, cheering every single move you make. It's got to give you confidence. The best 45 minutes I've seen out of MoAuba all season long. And he saved it for the best time possible, looking for a 4th now down the byline. Does get bundled over to Neymar, the referee waves it away and we go into half-time.
I feel as though they're really micromanaging this game right now. MoAuba, Stylo, they've probably looked at Nicolas, watched his games back. Where is he vulnerable? How can we exploit Nicolas's weaknesses? Every player has weaknesses. Some less obvious than others. But MoAuba right now, Looking very, very cool under pressure.
Can't get too carried away though, can he, Richard? We know
So
how
much time left to
competitive
play.
FIFA can go, especially across the two-legged format, which this is. If it's drawing after 2 legs, we will go to extra time, and if we need it, penalties, which would be incredible. You can see everybody that's come down to the O2 today for this grand final.
Let's point out as well, it's not only a place in the final that they're fighting for. This is a $75,000 game right now. Both of these players guaranteed 25k. The winner guarantees themselves $100,000 just for being in the grand final.
And it was one thing that we were talking about before we started commentating today. Nicolas has never played in this environment before. He's never played with a live crowd before in any environment since he's been playing competitive FIFA, because we've never seen him in day 3 of the FIFAeWorldCup grand final. Could that be something to look towards? We actually saw passion as well from Nicolas. We never really hear him shout or scream, or, you know, many competitive players will do. They'll shout, "Let's go." Yesterday, he was electric.
They were getting very, very loud down on that stage in the booth.
Still in the first leg, if you have just joined us. The final day of the FIFA 19 competitive season. We know that MS Dasari is in the grand final. He's waiting for a PlayStation champion to join him in there. Here's Nicolas, the Argentine, and Mbappe back inside to hull it now. On the edge of the box, he's got room to shoot. Timed it green and took a deflection out for a corner.
Again, defensively, Mo, there's no space on that edge of the box when he's looking for a cutback.
Neymar back to Modric. This is nice from Nicolas. Needs to make the most of it though. People bundling over the ball, but possession changes hands once again, and there's a chance to break forward now for Danny da Costa. Team of the season variant from the Bundesliga. Speaking of team of the seasons, Kai Havertz, what an introduction he's been for so many pros. Just seems like there's no one going forward for Nicolas, and so many white shirts back. And those white shirts, I should say, are MoAuba's.
Yeah, you see Danny da Costa pulled all the way out over to the left-hand side there. That right-hand side where Hull is.
Bullet's trying to cover. It's going to go back to R9. Timed it again. Rafael Varane this time.
That was a chance to exploit as well, because da Costa from right-back had been pulled all the way over to the left-back position. It meant Hull had to drop in at right-back, so the space was on the edge of the box. But a great interception from Rafael Varane, saving the day.
Don't think he's missed a tackle yet, Richard. Everything has been perfect from the German, trying to find Neymar. Well, it will just bully him off the ball. And Nicolas comes forward again. It's been a strong opening 15 minutes for him in this second half. Cristiano Ronaldo now, maybe he's out slightly too wide. Ball roll, drag back. Everything's out from the Portuguese man. Needs to play that one more pass. Where's he going? Into Neymar! Found it green!
I was like,
And just wide, I want to say. It looked like he went into the back of the net. I think he's just gone wide, Richard Buckley. The goal hasn't gone down, so...
Wow. He timed it green, edge of the box. Neymar, 5-star weak foot.
I was just waiting for the net to ripple.
Great individual run as well from Cristiano Ronaldo there.
That must have been so close to going in. We might see it on the replay.
Little reverse elastico. Scoop turn. But you see, if another player, not named Nicolas, right there, that chance goes wide, there's a reaction. Nothing from Nicolas. He lets the small things, the errors, just pass by. Carry on playing the game as you was.
It's Ferland Mendy now. Into Kante, he's just been introduced for some fresh legs for him, and just like that.
Let's go, Junge!
The O2 Arena are up on their feet. As MoAuba will score again, a 3-goal cushion. And we're not even in the second leg yet.
MoAuba is having the game of his life right now. He went 1-0 down.
You wouldn't think that.
Now 4-1, Mo leads. Watching back the play from the goal. Near post, timed green, low driven from Mo. Into the subs now is Nicolas. Mo's ready to play. Nicolas looking towards Lionel Messi and prime icon moment Eusebio to potentially get a couple of goals back before this first leg does conclude. But look at that. Instinctive from Mo.
You would have been dreaming of a first leg like this today, last night. At the moment, it's all going to plan for him. I was speaking to Mo, he said last year and in FIFA 17, I didn't really have much of a problem playing against Nicolas this year. The tables have turned. Nicolas, as we said, won 7 out of the 8 matches they faced up against each other this year. But you have to forget about that. You have to put it to the back of your mind.
Put the pressing from Mo. Defensively, offensively, off the ball. MoAuba has just simply been better than Nicolas in this game.
You could just see him tracking the runners there. Danny Costa's following Messi. Kante will drop back. Mendy's moving around. And once again, the tackle is there. No room to breathe for Nicolas. MoAuba wants a 5th. He's going to try and get a 5th now. Messi only just introduced. Tries to find Neymar. Will he get onto Neymar? Just slightly too heavy in the end and falls back to Van der Sar.
And that through ball right there, exactly what Mike were breaking down yesterday on the ball. He's getting away in such a bad area
You
again.
can just see those small mistakes that Nicolas is making. You can tell he's feeling the pressure. Mbappe tried to coquette his way along the byline. You'd have to say he needs a goal. Does Nicolas to take into this second leg? Could this be his chance? He's got Eusebio making a run in front of him. Mbappe, there's Messi now. Eusebio's in the box. Went back inside and it was red. Still in possession is Nicolas. Ronaldo turns back. Someone's there to block it. Falls back to MoAuba's Van der Sar. And he can just calm down once again.
Everything on the pitch right now. For the 82 minutes that we've watched, apart from conceding that 1 goal, MoAuba has had the run of the green.
Surely not again. Surely not again. 5 goals in 1 leg. You often say about players, Richard, that play their finals before they even get to certain stages in the competition. It feels like he needed that rocky road yesterday in his last 3 group games.
Weiter.
Not happy with that.
Weiter.
Keeping away possession, really silly in fact.
In quite a good area as well for Nicolas. If he can throw in one of the things that everyone struggles with this year.
Get one more chance will Nicolas in this game. Has to take it. It's red again. You wouldn't think we're watching a console final at the moment with Nicolas in it.
He's just crowding the box so well, Mo. You can see the white shirts there. He's reading the passing lane so effectively.
Here's that chance. Eusebio didn't even time it.
Not time green. No danger for Van der Sar.
He'll be happy to see this one out. Do not give possession away again. I'm sure Styler will be thinking, if anything, maybe go and get another one. Hullet was making that run off. His man, added time at 2 minutes left.
Nice.
Another pass. Wasted from Nicolas.
Aktion.
Really, this is not a Nicolas-esque performance. MoAuba has just played him off the park. And what a first leg. That is 4-1 MoAuba. He does lead by 3 goals.
I'm not sure I've seen Nicolas play as bad in a big game, in a console final, and MoAuba play as good in day 3 of a tournament.
You wouldn't think there's $75,000 up for grabs right now, would you? You really wouldn't indeed. We still have a second leg to come up very shortly indeed, but before we do so, I'm going to throw it over to Adam, Spencer and Mike LaBelle.
Thank you very much, guys. Wow. What a first leg we've just witnessed, and we're with Spencer and, of course, Mike LaBelle in the analysis area. Mike, what a game.
Oh, talk about an offensive triple threat. MoAuba gave you a little bit of everything, and that's exactly what we're going to look at here. We've got his offensive awareness, and we're talking about how Nicolas didn't play well. How about how good MoAuba was? And that's what we're going to showcase here. He switches the pitch in order to create some additional space, and once he gets the ball back to the middle of the pitch, he starts to open up these lanes. And I want to talk about R9 filling space, because at this point when he's making this pass, he knows this is going to be his goal scorer, and he's going to set a bit of a 3-piece, a bunch of first-time passing that ends in a first-time shot, and just tells you that he's really seeing the game a little bit quicker than Nicolas. And Nicolas is known for his defensive structure, his defensive awareness, and being able to shut down people. Well, he's not shutting down MoAuba. You see 1, 2, 3, and you're going to get that finish across the body. Can't do anything about it. It is beautiful.
So it is beautiful, but what can Nicolas do to stop that happening again in the second leg? Because not only does Nicolas need to pick up some goals, he needs to stop MoAuba attacking.
Nicolas has to do a better job of his pressure play, his double teams, his micromanaging, something we normally compliment him on, and it's going to allow him to create easier chances on the offensive end. We always talk about Nicolas being able to transition amazing defense or pressure-based defense into easy offense.
We mentioned how Nicolas is not a player you want to go down to. Now MoAuba's stopped that and he's got the lead himself. Is Nicolas the sort of player that comes back from this? I mean, there's lots of players we've seen this year have amazing comebacks. Is Nicolas that kind of guy?
We've seen Nicolas face adversity, in fact, in this tournament, losing his first 3 games and battling back. He has that in his system. And something that, if we're playing devil's advocate here, that does worry me a little bit, MoAuba's not known as a player that can stop attacking. He's not known to be able to swing it side to side to kill off games. He always goes for more goals at all times.
Do you think his best strategy is just to keep attacking now? Go for more goals?
If I'm MoAuba, I'm not changing anything until halftime.
Okay.
You're not changing anything at all. So
You looked amazing in the first leg. Nicolas was not able to deal with what you were able to produce on the offensive end. If he scores 1 more goal, you've got to think that's it. So go for that 1 more goal, and then if you make it to halftime, you're still up 2, maybe even 3 goal spread, then maybe you start to go swing it side to side a little bit, slow down the game, hold the ball, do what you got to do, get the job done.
Get the job done. Loving that, Mike. Thank you very much. Right, we are ready to go for our second leg. Big second leg for Nicolas against MoAuba. Let's throw back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And yeah, you heard Mike Nobel there breaking down the gameplay, and he was just saying as well, it's unusual that we're talking about Nicolas in this way, but the thing we need to really talk about is MoAuba being so good.
He's been unbelievable in that first leg. Mike broke down the individual plays there. I think the big thing for me, for Nicolas, his player switching with the right stick, usually his biggest defensive trait. Really quick player switching, really quick pressure in the ball. That just didn't really seem to be clicking for him. On that clip that just got broken down there, it was like 4 different players. He didn't know which player he wanted to switch onto. If you're doing that against somebody with the attacking prowess that MoAuba possesses, he will just simply cut you open time and time again. Hence, he's leading 4 goals to 1 after that first leg.
Well, here we go then, second leg of our PlayStation semi-final. Of course, the console final on paper.
Nice.
4-1. MoAuba leads coming into it. And what a first leg it was.
Weiter.
So good defensively, he was able to create chances as well. As we've said, just putting Nicolas in a very uncomfortable position. Nicolas will be kicking from left to right in this game. He needs 3 goals, he needs an early goal as well. Cricketta into the finish, it was time yellow. Positive signs though, this early on. And a wasted corner. Maybe I've just cursed him.
Looking for a different variation of the short corner, which I like. Played it short and then went for a driven pass into the front post, but when you do a driven pass, likely to get more error on said pass.
See that run that Neymar's making, trying to push that back line. The error is even involved as well, Havertz.
See the offside trap played there from Nicolas as well, squeezing his players up.
He's going to have to be careful with that though. It's all right, needing 3 goals. He's got to try and defend as well. Times it, Green!
Schade, Junge, weiter.
And so close to being a 5th.
Looked like that was just nestling in the top corner there from MoAuba on that first time finesse shot.
Something that he nailed down just 2 months into the game cycle. And that's why he was going 5-0 in Swiss in Foot Champions Cups.
Nice.
Making it into the knockout stages time and time again.
Every single time the ball turns over. Stylo's there. Well done. Nice. Good job. He knows how important it is this first 15, 20, 25 minutes to not let Nicolas score a goal. Nicolas will get rolling when he scores 1.
He's a player you can never write off. Whatever the match situation. MoAuba can get himself a goal. We're 4 goals up in this game. Could this be his chance? Saved onto the rebound. Van Dijk, right place, right time. And straight down the other end, the ball goes Mbappe, making the run. R9 could try and find him. It's going to go to Cristiano Ronaldo. Is he going to be able to finish from there? Yes, he is. And you can see how disappointed MoAuba is on it as well.
He knows that chance at the other end could have killed off the game. 1 counter-attack later, It's a 2-goal game with so much FIFA left to play. MoAuba knows that defensively, he's not the best player. Nicolas will start throwing more bodies forward. More attacks will come. Really clinical near post as well from Nicolas.
It's one of those, isn't it? If you get in the right area with the right player, 9 times out of 10, we're looking at R9s, we're looking at Cristiano Ronaldo's. You can time it green and get it on target.
There was just no nonsense about that strike right there. He got down the line with CR7, near post, time green, no cricketer, no cut inside.
Oh no.
Let's go.
Nearly. Found another one straight away. Mistake from MoAuba. Let's ball back to him. Panic over. If that goal went in, I'm sure Nicolas is thinking only 2 more goals now. Got 70 minutes to find them as well. So much time. MoAuba must reply, must go back in front.
We're talking about Nicolas. Can he come back from adversity? The man was 0-3 in groups. Is that the biggest challenge of any of the players here to get to this point at the tournament?
It's been labelled online as potentially one of the best comebacks in FIFA esports history. If he can go and win the FIFAeWorldCup. Ronaldo now, Criqueta, Elasticos, back to back. Fortunately, no way through though.
Getting in though, isn't he? He's getting into the opportunities, he's getting into the spaces. Is Nicolas.
It's all about settling down now for MoAuba. As Nicolas will try and build into this game. The goal will silence the Argentine. Could this be that goal? Neymar, 1-on-1!
Ja, man!
That 3-goal cushion is restored.
Stark, Junge!
He needed that to get that confidence back into this game, to try and just settle those nerves.
Now MoAuba back in pole position. You would have said, even though that it were leading by 2 goals, the game was slowly turning. It was slowly starting to sway towards Nicolas. But right now, MoAuba back in the driver's seat. 3rd of this game completed. He's got 60 minutes before he faces a grand final. All he has to do is hold this lead.
As we said coming into today, Richard, we've never seen a German or an Argentina World Cup winner, FIFAeWorldCup winner, since the competition started in 2004. We always speak about the Germans. They're always at competitive FIFA events, filling up more than a quarter of most of the spots. Just yet to follow up with a huge World Championship. MoAuba, R9, looking for that finesse. Didn't look timed. It's going to go out for a throw-in for him.
Show us how much confidence he's playing with right now, though. He's taking the first-time finesse shots. Even though they might not have the best of success rates since the patch a few months ago, he's still training. He knows that he's pressing right now. He will win the ball back off Nicolas. He's not playing with any fear.
Unbelievable from him. He's looking for that finesse, went for the dummy. It's going to fall back to Ronaldo. And he trickled in as well. Non-stop pressure from MoAuba. Into Kai Havertz. If it wasn't for Rafael Varane, that could have been another goal. Still not dealt with though. And this is good to see. Happy to play back, then recycle out another way.
All the bounces, all the little touches in and around the box. Seems to be falling MoAuba's way.
That ball went through as well to Neymar. So many half-hearted chances. Must go down the other end, but there always seems to be a white shirt in the way.
That might be one of the most un-Nicolas things I've seen. He queued the run with L1, and then he's just tried the Hail Mary, almost, over the top.
How do you beat Nicolas? You put him in a position that he's never been in before, behind, trailing by 3 goals. He doesn't know how to play. He's going to, of course, rush chances. Added time of 2 minutes. Could this be potentially game over? It's dealt with. Will we even get time for one more chance? That should do us for half-time. MoAuba over the moon. celebrating that. It's 45 minutes, Richard, away from a cross-console Grand World Cup final.
And taking on MS Tasari in that game as well. Nicolas needs the biggest 45 minutes, the biggest 6 minutes of FIFA in his esports career. Trailing 3 goals against a prime MoAuba right now.
Sometimes
Doesn't have it in his locker.
An World Cup, a big tournament, it really does bring out the best in so many players. We saw it just a few weeks back with Nicolas in Berlin. Did not lose a game, went 4-0 in Swiss, went through the knockouts.
He believes that he can turn this around, Nicolas.
There was something about that fist pump there. It
seemed
like he was
invigorated.
Down. Yeah. Seems like he still believes. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that still believe so as well. You think 6 minutes of real life time away from just getting into a final, 75,000 more in your pocket. There's a chance.
Nice.
Once again. I'm running out of adjectives to talk about MoAuba when he defends. He's so good. There would have been some changes made at half-time from Nicolas. Attacking changes, no doubt. There's the dink cross, off the post. No one's there on the rebound. Just get rid of it. Keeper goes down to ground, and that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Was just not able to deal with it. The keeper tripped on one of the defenders, and in the end it was an open net for Nicolas to get a goal back in this game.
An absolute shambles inside the box.
Loose play.
For MoAuba right there. But Nicolas will take it, no matter how the ball goes into the back of the net.
It's not the goal he would have wanted to concede, that's for sure. Perfect start to this second half, though, for Nicolas. Trailing by 2 goals now on the aggregate scoreline. 5-3 down. And I doubt you ever see MoAuba trying to see out a game. He'll be looking for another goal. Croqueta into Messi, back to goal. Where's that one going to go? Messi went down to ground. Penalty shouts waved away. I always say, has he got ice in his veins, Nicolas? They call him the Iceman.
Nice.
Can he bounce back?
Whatever he's done at half-time, we didn't actually get to see the changes, but they look a lot more attacking. It looks like he might be playing with
MoAuba, surely! Oh, has he missed it?
Weiter.
Is something in the air right now. That going wide. The goal that Nicolas scored. 30 minutes. 2 goals needed for Nicolas. Not sure how that's gone wide.
It's one of them you expect it to go, and you don't even think about timing. You just want to...
Just press circle.
You just hit circle, and you expect it to fly into the back of the net. You are right, though. Those small things that maybe are going against MoAuba will start to play on his mind. And if Nicolas can get a goal back in the next 10 minutes before the 70th minute, this is going to be an incredible last 20 minutes of this semi-final.
Again, MoAuba, is the pressure getting to him, giving the ball away?
Expect to see another pause as well in the next few minutes, I'm sure. Because it will get to a stage where Nicolas will have to go all guns blazing free at the back. If he's not already. Neymar into R9. There's the ball inside.
Nice.
Varane read it well.
And almost that pass just seemed too good not to try. He could have had the shot with R9.
And Nicolas comes forward again. He'll be keeping an eye on that clock. I'm sure MoAuba will just be praying for it to run down as quick as possible as well. 5-3, the German still leads. It'll be his first ever cross-console final in World Cup for both of the players. There we go, we enter this pause now. 4-2-2 at the moment. We are looking at for Nicolas. You can see both players' perspectives.
That tackle right there from Danny Da Costa, so big for him. He pulled him out all the way from right wing, right back, into sort of a CDM role. Won the ball back, pushed his team forward with 20 minutes left. Both players in 4-2-2. Right now, going into the final 20 minutes.
The biggest 20 minutes for both of these players. So hang on for MoAuba. He'll be the PlayStation 4 champion of FIFA 19. One of the best players starting this year. Semi-finals in the Continental Cup, a console final, and just the second for Champions Cup of the year. Represented his nation in the Nations Cup. He's been everywhere. Can he hold on to this? As Germany watches on, praying that he can be that man to get into a cross-continental final. And it's one of those, isn't it? Probably want anyone else in that position other than Kante.
Even the team of the Kante though, is good enough to finish that. Just wasn't time green. Went for the low driven, maybe could have opened up his body for a finesse.
Just hold on to that ball, tries to find it inside to Neymar. Here's a chance to break now for Nicolas. Mbappe runs straight in to Van Dijk. Possession again just keeps on changing hands.
So scrappy in the midfield. Both players just giving the ball away.
One more goal would seal this for MoAuba. Danny Costa, it goes all the way over, headed back by Pele of all people. Messi will try and just stride forward on the left-hand side. Possession in the midfield. Modric. Where's he going to go? Where's his option? All the way across to Messi. This needs to be a goal. Oh no!
Timed it right.
Wasn't even time green.
That's fine if you're going to use Messi on his right foot and you're going to take a shot on his right foot, but it has to be green.
And it's another chance wasted by the Argentine. 10 minutes left.
Nice. Let's go.
MoAuba will be more than happy to just hold on to this ball. 8 minutes left.
Just play the time game if you're MoAuba. If you're a German FIFA fan,
just see this game out, they'll be saying. It's in your hands to lose.
What an awful touch that is. At the biggest moment, the ball ricocheting off Nicolas and turning possession over to MoAuba.
5 minutes left. You think in Nicolas's mind, is there any hope left? The last 5 minutes of his competitive year. Looks like it will be a loss. The biggest stage of all in the FIFA 19 Global Series. He can score now, and he gets any time on his side, there might be a chance for him. Mbappe has to score! This could be an incredible final few minutes.
89 minutes on the clock. One goal game right now. MoAuba has to hold on to the ball. Nicolas will be throwing everything in the kitchen sink at him to win this ball back.
Only think back to yesterday when Megabit was in this exact position in the knockout game. Quarter-final it was against MS Dasari. Only 2 minutes. That's not going to be in Nicolas's favour. Just hold on to the ball, MoAuba will be saying. 1 minute left, has to win this in the air. Danny Costa.
Hold on.
With a $75,000 block. It's certainly not over yet. Nicolas, the ice, surely not. Oh, what a save. Everyone on their feet here in London. Just win this header and you'll be in the cross-continental final.
It's in, it comes. It's in.
Oh my God! I cannot believe my eyes. What a turnaround in the FIFAeWorldCup final.
MoAuba doesn't know where to look. Nicolas has just scored 2 goals. 89, 93. He brought his keeper out. It was just too far away from him. And who else but to win a header inside the box than Luka Modric?
Never write off the Argentine. Extra time in our PlayStation 4 semi-finals. Wherever you're watching from around the world, do not move a muscle. We've got 30 more minutes of extra time in front of us.
Nicolas,
we said it,
FC.
Rich. There was something about that second half. He looked confident.
It was something about that fist bump. That fist bump after at half time, we just thought, he looks up for this. He looks really, really up for this. MoAuba, he got so unlucky, he played it out wide. He won the header with Danny Costa. You thought that was game over. And then Danny Costa, Messi fell over each other. The ball ends up going down the line, winning himself a corner. And MoAuba concedes with the last play of the game. We're now going into extra time. 30 minutes. If we ain't got a winner after that, it's going to be a penalty shootout for a date with Desari.
Just saw there on the camera, MoAuba's girlfriend. She travels around all the world with him when it comes to competitive FIFA. I remember seeing her back in FIFAWC 2017. She's on camera now. You can imagine how nervous she must be feeling. It's been an incredible. I don't know how Megabit can laugh next to her. I know it's his birthday, so happy birthday, Megabit. He played so well. He played so well for 3 halves of the 4 there.
In the biggest moment, who clutches up? Nicolas, the Iceman. He's got ice in his veins.
Everybody's been talking about it. If he can go the full way, potentially the best comeback in a tournament we have seen. No better place to do it than the biggest stage of the whole season. He was 0-3 in groups. Everybody was asking questions, including me. What's going on? Something just doesn't seem right for him. People looked at his coach change. I know his brother's in next to him for this big final. And if anything, that equaliser in the 92nd minute might be what he needs as a confidence booster in this extra time period.
Do not go anywhere. We've got 30 more minutes.
Anything can happen. Messi trying to just...
The question is, how does MoAuba get back from that? How on earth do you pick yourself back up after conceding 89-92? You're probably thinking about the grand final.
Nicolas wasn't, though. Nicolas was thinking, I'm going to get everybody forward. I'm going to get one more chance. Could he go and lead in this game as well? Surely not. Hull it straight at the keeper.
So he's timing them green, but I'm not sure. Maybe his analog placement, where the shot is actually aiming it potentially, not taking the risk of putting it straight in the corner, because he had a few of them, and they've all gone down the goalkeeper's throat.
It's going to fall back to Nicolas nearly. MoAuba, he's going to feel tested. He's going to feel tired. He would have had to concentrate so hard to try and hold on to this lead. Messi, can he get past Van Dijk? Calls for a penalty. He's given it.
Free kick just on the edge.
It was a penalty shout for a second. Played short now. Just time it green. Get it on target. Unfortunately, timed it wide. Goes wide.
Yeah, just screwed wide of that left post there. He's won it. Everything now going Nicolas's way. The little knockdowns, the flicks, the heavy touches.
Pele, ball roll into that accelerated fake shot for him. Needs to believe. Does MoAuba, who was in front by 3 goals on 2 occasions across both of these games. As we know in competitive FIFA, especially on the PlayStation, you never write off Nicolas. Here's his chance now. Must score it.
Nothing's getting timed for MoAuba right now.
And in time at 2 minutes, last chance of this first half and extra time. Surely not going to be a penalty shootout. There has to be drama before that. What a block, Rafa Varane.
Big block there from Varane.
Corner to come in. Headed away by Danny Costa, nearly back into danger. Hoof cleared by Kante. And wow, 15 minutes left, Richard Buckley. What is in store? What more is in store, I should say. I think we've seen everything we could.
Will we find a winner in the next 15 minutes, or will it be the dreaded penalty shootout? A $75,000 penalty shootout.
Please no.
5 apiece. Nicolas making a couple of slight changes there in his player instructions. Both players still in the 4-2-2. Both players want to win the game right now and not have to rely on the lottery of penalties.
Do not take your eyes off this. 15 minutes, 5-5. The PlayStation 4 console final, the semi-final over MS Desari, I'm sure, is watching the distance. Trying to analyse who he's going to be facing up in this final. Still yet to find a winner. MoAuba wins that free kick. Happy to play quickly from Kante, linking up with a fellow Frenchman in Ferland Mendy. Back to Hullet. You feel like if you can get a goal, you can maybe see this out. Where does he take that shot from? Where does he take that gamble from? And there's the confidence in Nicolas defending. Porton though, win it straight back from MoAuba. Varane pulled out of position. Can he capitalise on that? He's trying to pull back inside now. Kante.
It's good pressing from Modric.
Side to Hullet. And Ramos. He has to be aggressive, does Nicolas, and it's working for him. Watch that run of Mbappe, number 8 on your screen. In the Argentina strip. Just reading everything, isn't he?
Both players are just rushing the chances, aren't they?
Look at that run. This could be if he can get around the right side of Danny Da Costa. Unfortunately, he can't, and that's the pressure. Just mounting on MoAuba. Nothing else he can do than just clear it for a throw-in. This is the biggest chance of your season. Will win a free kick, and this could be very dangerous indeed. Expect a layoff into a time green shot, or even a direct shot. Messi's over it, so's Ronaldo. Played short, goes to Modric, save!
Oh, great goalkeeper movement from Mo to switch over to the left-hand side.
Corner to come in now, this is Nicolas, just 2 minutes left. Scored already from one. Danny Da Costa, the hero. Back inside, back into danger. Pele chips it in, has to get in the air. Push though will be a free kick if he wants to play it. Advantage played, and a chance to break away once again for MoAuba. Last chance he will get in this match. Wasted.
We'll go to Nicolas.
Look at that run.
Is it?
Look at Pele. This could be it. It's 1-on-1. Oh, what a read from MoAuba. It's coming back again. It's coming back again. Mbappe. Back to Messi. Down the byline, looking for a penalty.
Speaking of penalties, that's where we're going.
Oh no. Oh no. A penalty shootout for a cross-console grand final spot. Messi up first for Nicolas. Save!
Massive save for MoAuba right there. He steps up to the spot with Kante and he's saved.
Up next is Pele. Both penalties missed. Up he steps, saved again!
Is anyone going to score a penalty? MoAuba steps up, Mbappe over it, save!
You can't imagine the pressure these guys are under. $75,000 to whoever can win it. Modric, the person who scored the 5th goal! Oh, he can't even score it!
He's putting so much power on his penalties. Is Nicolas. Messi for MoAuba, scores 1-0.
And he does lead 1-0, 4th penalty now. Needs to score. Cristiano Ronaldo for Nicolas. Easy as you like.
If he scores this, advantage still with MoAuba. We're tied at 1 apiece. Nicolas has taken 4, Mo's taken 3. This is his 4th, and he's got
5th penalty now. If Nicolas scores and MoAuba misses, the Argentine will progress into the cross-console final. Alexandro goes down the middle, and this could be the big moment. Has to score. Does MoAuba for a chance to play against the Mr. Sarri. Neymar steps up, scores.
And now we're in a sudden death situation. I like this from Nicolas. He's talking to his coach. What are you thinking? Left, right, middle? Mbappe, not a lot of power on it, slots it to the left. Very nice penalty. It's going to be Mo to score to stay in the game. If Nicolas saves, Nicolas goes through. Hullet steps up to the spot and he scores. We continue.
We continue once again. I'm not too sure in these chats, Nicolas and his brother. What's he saying to him? Obviously we can't translate. We can't even hear. Hullet steps up, down the middle, it's saved from MoAuba. MoAuba scores. He will be in the cross-console final. Benjamin Mendy, Ferland Mendy, I should say, of all people, for the German. Stylo can't watch. Mendy steps up. It's in! MoAuba will be in that cross-console final. The hope for Germany to win a FIFAeWorldCup lives on.
A penalty shootout. What a game right there. Drama in a picture. Look at that. He's in tears. That might be the best game of FIFA esports that I've ever seen.
Incredible stuff, and that will be the cross-console final now. MoAuba against Escenas coming soon from the O2 Arena in London. Amazing scenes.
Wow, what a semi-final we saw there. It will be MS Desari against MoAuba in the grand final. Do not go anywhere. We will be back in half an hour for the final.